everybody. Just to get ready to make some coffee this morning. We're going to jump into the Word. Lord put it on my heart to get into Proverbs. It's 31 Proverbs, so we're going to do a proverb a day for 31 days. No matter where I'm at, whether it's the work week or whether I'm turkey hunting now that turkey season's in, we're going to have a Bible study on Proverbs every morning. So first off, let's get some coffee going. So I have here, this is our little backpacking stove. It's called an ember lit. Love this little thing. It's small. You can put it in your back pocket. Pocket. So it just goes together. Fairly simple. And there you go. Got a little cook stove. We're gonna be cooking in the garage this morning. They got all the doors open, so not worried about the smoke and carbon monoxide and all that good stuff. Got a little lighter here. Get it going. Normally what we do when we're out on the trail, we'll carry lint. My wife keeps all the lint out of the dryer, and we'll put it in a Ziploc bag. It makes a great fire starter. So once you got your stove all packed up with wood, I actually throw some coals in there too. I'm using the Stanley press coffee maker. We use this a lot when we're backpacking. You can boil your water right here to make all your meals, all your MRE meals, purify water, make coffee. Works really great. We're gonna let that there and let it do its thing. Make some coffee. Before we jump into Proverbs, I want to go back and see how Solomon, the author of Proverbs, got so wise. So as we look in 1 Kings 3:4, it said, "And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer upon that altar. In Gibeon the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, Ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said, Thou hast showed unto my servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth and in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with thee. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne, as it is this day. And now, O Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David my father, and I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people which thou hast chosen, a great people, that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? And the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon had asked this thing. And God said unto him, Because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked for riches for thyself, nor hast asked the life of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee, and I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor. See, that's how the Lord will do you. Solomon didn't ask to be rich. He didn't ask to have great treasures. He didn't ask to have a long, great life. He just asked for wisdom. And that's how the Lord will do you. He went on and gave him riches, gave him the wisdom he asked for, gave him the wealth, the riches, the honor. It's amazing. If you walk with the Lord and you talk to him, he will do more than take care of you. I have to keep my coffee pot on check here. So I hope this encourages you to get up early and get with God. Because once I leave here and go out onto the job, it's a battlefield. Right now I'm in my safe zone. I got to put on my armor of God right now this morning before I step out into this world, because the world is out there ready to consume you up. If you're trying to walk upright and just, you're trying to be the best Christian you can be, it's hard once you walk out into this world. But if we can get in the Word of God, get prayed up, get into this Word every morning, man, it makes your day so much better. I promise you. But here we go. We're going to jump in Proverbs 1, and I'll break it down. Some stats that tell about Proverbs. I'll highlight a little here and there. I love the purpose of Proverbs is to teach people how to attain wisdom and discipline in a prudent life, and how to do what is right, just, and fair. In short, to apply divine wisdom to daily life and provide moral instruction. And I love this part right here. It says, knowledge is good, but there is a vast difference between knowledge, having the facts, and wisdom, applying those facts to life. We may amass knowledge, but without wisdom, our knowledge is useless. We must learn how to live out what we know. As you read Proverbs, understand that knowing God is the key to wisdom. Listen to the thoughts and lessons from the world's wisest man and apply these truths to your life. Don't just read these Proverbs, act on them. Proverbs begins with a clear statement of its purpose to impart wisdom for godly living. The first few chapters are Solomon's fatherly advice to young men. Although most of the material in this section is directed towards young men, all who seek wisdom will greatly benefit from these wise words. This is where one can discover the source of wisdom, the value of wisdom, and the benefits of wisdom. So here we go. We're going to start. Verse 1. The purpose of Proverbs. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, to give subtly to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. You got to know the Lord. You got to be saved. You got to know the Lord before you can have any knowledge, any wisdom in the Word. You got to know the Lord. And if you do not know the Lord, at the end of the video, we'll show you how. It's a free gift. All we got to do is accept it. The work has already been done. The bond has already been paid. It's a free gift waiting on us. We don't have to do anything but accept it. Accept it into our heart. But fools despise wisdom and instruction. We'll go back over that one. Verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. And down here, a little keynote for verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1. It says, what the book of Psalms is to devotional life, the book of Proverbs is to everyday life. Proverbs gives practical suggestions for effective living. Wisdom keeps a young man from disaster. Verse 8. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path, for their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of every one that greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. In verse 8, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. It says, our actions speak louder than our words. This is especially true in the home. Children learn values, morals, and priorities by observing how their parents act and react every day. If parents exhibit a deep reverence for and dependence on God, the children will catch these attitudes. Show reverence for God and teach them right living by giving worship an important place in your family life and by reading the Bible together. Very important. Very important. Nobody has time to make old school coffee anymore. It's rush, 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 go, go, go. Let's get up early with God and make time. This will be the best cup of coffee you ever had. We got the gas-powered little stoves that we take backpacking, but something about just wood and fire and the warmth, the smell, the sound, and it flavors your coffee too. It just goes up and flavors the water. It just makes it so much better to me. All right, let's get back in it. It was saying here, breakdown in verse 10 through 19. It says, sin is attractive because it offers a quick route to prosperity and makes us feel like one of the crowd. When we go along with others and refuse to listen to the truth, our own appetites become our masters, and we'll do anything to satisfy them. But sin, even when attractive, is deadly. We must learn to make choices not on the basis of flashy appeal or short-range pleasures, but in view of the long-range effects. I love that. Sometimes this means steering clear of people who want to draw us to activities that we know are wrong. We can't be friendly with sin and expect our lives to remain unaffected. Turn and run. This is not cowardly. It is extremely brave. I got to highlight that, y'all. We can't be friendly with sin and expect our lives to remain unaffected. Turn and run. This is not cowardly. It is extremely brave. It's easy to run with the crowd. Verse 19 is talking about being greedy of gain is one of Satan's surest traps. It begins when he plants the suggestion that we can't live without some possession or more money. And if you look at the world right now, that is it. Then that desire fans it's on fire until it becomes an all-consuming obsession. Ask God for wisdom to recognize any greedy trap that Satan places in your way. God's Spirit will help you overcome it. The picture of wisdom shouting in the streets is a personification. Look back in verse 20. It says, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. And it says it's literally a device to make wisdom come alive for us. Wisdom is not a separate being. It is the mind of God revealed. By reading in the gospel narratives about Jesus Christ, Christ's early ministry, we can see wisdom in action. In order to understand how to become wise, we can listen to wisdom calling and instructing us in the book of Proverbs. All right, jumping on to verse 20, the voice of wisdom. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates, in the cities. She uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as the whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel, they despised all of my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. But whoso hearken unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. I had to highlight that. That's good. Going back. It says, God is more than willing to pour out his wisdom to us. To receive his advice, we must be willing to listen, refusing to let pride stand in our way. Pride is thinking more highly of our own wisdom and desires than of God's. If we think we know better than God, or feel we have no need of God's direction, we have fallen into foolish pride. Many proverbs point out that the fruit of their own way will be the consequences people will experience in this life. Faced with either choosing God's wisdom or persisting in rebellious independence, many decide to go at it alone. The problems such people create for themselves will destroy them. Wisdom is both a God-given gift and the fruit of an energetic search. Wisdom's starting point is God and his revealed word, the source of knowledge and understanding. In that sense, it is his gift to us, but he gives it only to those who earnestly seek it. If you get the feel here, it's not just going to come at you. You got to seek it. You got to dig for it. You got to dig in the word. It's just not going to fall in your lap. The pathway to wisdom is strenuous. When we are on it, we discover that true wisdom is God's, and that we cannot create it by our own efforts. But because God's wisdom is hidden from the rebellious and foolish, it takes effort to find it and use it. Okay. Our coffee is at a rolling boil. We'll set that off. Now you just take your coffee, add it straight to the water. Do 4 spoons. And you let that sit. And after it's set a few minutes, let that coffee mix up with the water good. This thing's got a screen in the bottom of it. And you just push it down, press it down, and it pushes all the coffee grains to the bottom and the coffee up. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this time with me. I know I have enjoyed it. We are ready. Try to get it to where you can see this. I doubt I can get it. See that? Now once you got it, let it sit a couple minutes. I stirred it up good. Mix that coffee in good. And then you will take your press and you just press it down. Oh, that's good. So less than 30 minutes, we have built the fire, brewed up some coffee, set up the lighting in the shop, went and found some sticks, read a whole chapter of Proverbs, talked about all the highlights of Proverbs. We even read part of Kings, talking about Solomon and how he got his wisdom. So in under 30 minutes, we've done all this. Is it worth getting up 30 extra minutes in the morning, early? Be able to fill your day? Be ready for your day? Put on your armor for the day and go out into this world? Because when I pull out of this driveway in a minute, it gets real. I was thinking about that this week. This past weekend was such a blessing. We went up to Emmanuel Independent Baptist Church over in Maplesville, Alabama, with Brother Will Wright and his family, his new church there that they're opening. We took a group. We had a van full of teenagers and a small bus full of adults. I think it was 26 people in total that went with our church. We got up there to Brother Will Wright's church before lunch Saturday, and we knocked on right at 300 doors with just our group. And I want to say they said they had 16 people show up for their church service that Sunday morning from the people that heard through the knocking on doors from hearing about there was a new church opening up. And the day was just filled with just being around great Christian people. You didn't hear any vulgar language. It was nice. Surrounded my whole day around that Saturday, and then Sunday was church. Sunday morning, Sunday night, church services. My day was just filled again. Just a blessing. You just filled with the Spirit. You feel like you could conquer the world. You feel like there's not a problem in the world. Then Monday morning, you get to the job. In 10 minutes, putting your feet on the ground, it's cussing. You're just surrounded by vulgar language, and you walk out into this world, you got to be ready. But be a light. That's the main thing. Get prayed up, get read up, and go out into this world and be a light. Let people see you. Let people see the reflection of God through you. You might be the only God somebody's getting to see. You might be the only church somebody's getting to see. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll do it again tomorrow morning. We'll jump into chapter 2. And it starts off with wisdom is from God. It ain't from anything else. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a blessed day. Go out. Be a light. Stay tuned. Follow along with me. Jump in there with me in the mornings. Start this plan. 31 days. We can do it. We'll do it together. Get up early. Start your day. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time.
From the dawn of time